Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see there, I got some news concerning a 232 spoiler, mostly at the end of the main story. Now, again, I will let you know that I have not opened my issue yet. All I've done is read the summary by Chaos Control 14. Now, some of you may like what you hear, some of you may not, depending on where you watch or listen to this little video. You may or may not like what you hear. But basically, there was a question raised recently with the preview cover for Sonic Universe 38. One person questioned whether or not Sally's mecha body was a different color or if it's a different body entirely. Well, apparently something could be assumed that maybe it's a different body or maybe it's a different paint color or whatever it is. And the reason I say this, folks, because for some of you that don't know this just yet, apparently at the end of 232, the main story that is, Eggman is working on Sally's mecha form. In other words, he's making adjustments. According to something, that there's a claw that comes over her head. He's got a blowtorch. You can only assume what he's going to do. Now, you can only assume what he's going to do. Now, I know those that will probably hear this will not be happy about what they hear, or if I even decide to type it up, or even give them a quotation from the summary, you guys are not going to be happy about what you hear or hear or read. Because a lot of you right now will probably be coming out and going like, oh great, now there's no way that the de-robotization will take place if that's going to occur. First of all, you have the right to think that, because it does make it look like that's a strong possibility. But ladies and gentlemen, you never say never in anything. It doesn't matter if it's a sport or any kind of media. You never say never. Now, there's a lot of people here on YouTube, Saturday Morning Sonic Forums, Saturday AM Sonic, Sonic Stadium, the Sega Forums, and the Cartoon Comics section, and whatnot, that are willing to give Ian Flynn the benefit of the doubt. They're trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because they are trying to give him the opportunity to prove them wrong, to see how far he will go with this. Now, a lot of longtime fans or even short-term fans, they don't want to give him the benefit of the doubt because they don't believe he's going to make good on what he's going to do. Now, we all heard, apparently, if you read the TSSZ report, that during it, when the Mecha Sally design was revealed, that according to what they said in there, they said it's official, Sally will be roboticized going forward. Now, apparently, that's obviously coming true, but not on a permanent basis, just going forward, as I've mentioned before, for this story arc. Now, there's a lot of possibilities when you look at it. Now, we all know there's a possibility that Eggman could give Sally, during her mecha phase, if you will, the ability to switch bodies. In other words, take her head off, put it on another body or something. Or he would do it. I don't know. That is a possibility. Now, I know a lot of fans, again, like I said, won't like that because basically that complicates things storyline-wise for the characters. For the characters, storyline-wise, the only way they could probably get her back to normal is to make sure her head, if she's able to switch bodies, is attached to her rightful body. But then again, he could just give her the ability to switch her body into a different mode or a different color. You know what I'm saying? And, ladies and gentlemen, it's not the first time that's happened. I said this long ago before. I said this not that long ago when I talked about the fact that Mecha Sally wouldn't be the first good girl to go villain. I mean, I gave a lot of examples from Chibiusa Yusei in Sailor Moon, Cammy in the Street Fighter cartoon series on USA Network, Willow and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And again, the list goes on. You can find those videos here on my channel. But again, the list goes on. Now, we all know that obviously, a lot of what happened with these characters lasted for about the season it occurred in. Most for the second season of the Street Fighter cartoon series, Cammy was on Bison's side. For I don't know how long during a certain story arc, I don't know how long the story arc was, Chibiusa in Sailor Moon was Wicked Lady, Black Lady for the remainder of that story arc. We don't know how long that went. And Willow in Buffy the Vampire Slayer was bad for about the whole season, I guess. I'm not really sure. But again, it's not the first time. I mean, take a look at Miss Fantastic, the Invisible Woman in Fantastic Four. When she became Malice, she didn't just, have her original design. She had a new look to her, if you know what I mean. So again, it's not the first time this has happened. Again, prime example would be Jean Grey, the Phoenix. When she was the Phoenix, she went from having what she did to the green uniform with the Phoenix on it, and then to red with the Phoenix on it. And she had abilities she wouldn't normally have if she was just Jean. What I'm saying, folks, is just because there's a possibility, from my opinion, from what I could see, that she'll either be able to switch bodies or just be able to switch her body into a different mode, basically with a different color scheme, doesn't mean there's not a chance she won't be de-roboticized. Because like I said, we had seen that many times with some of them that I mentioned and some that I can't think of. I mean, look, another example, before I continue on, Sandra from Inhumanoids. When she became an undead giant zombie, I said this before in my other video, she was able to open up her ribs, exposed ribs, and put somebody in there. Now, of course, she didn't have the powers like Decomposed is to put them in there and then put them out and they go zombie. No, she didn't. And if you want another good example, take a look at a very popular series called Martin Mystery. And what happened to, I think, his sister or something like that on many occasions. Well, not many occasions, but several occasions. You see what I'm saying? Just because something happens or something changes with the character when they're in a state of, let's say, being evil, going against good, and if it's just temporary, and if, like I said, if there are changes there, then it's not the first time it's happened. I'm pretty sure you look at Japan and its anime collection, all the anime series and movies that it's done throughout its history, and you're bound to find several, if not many, examples of what's going on with Sally in there. But basically what I'm saying, folks, is it's not the first time, and it won't be the last time. And heck, let's take a look at an example within the comic. Bunny Rabbit, or Bunny DeCoolit, whatever you want to call her. I mean, right now she's de-roboticized, but from what we understand, it's not that permanent. Perhaps, we're not really sure. It's not that permanent. However, when she was roboticized, she had to have her robotic limbs replaced. Her original limbs, the ones that got roboticized, replaced by newer ones. So again, it wouldn't be the first time. Now, a lot of people assume that since Nagus was able to do that there's a possibility Nagus could possibly do it with Sally. Now, we're not saying that's true or not. Because we don't know, first of all, storyline-wise, how long Bunny's de-robotization is. And we don't know exactly how it could affect Sally's deal. But again, like I said, folks, this is just some breaking news coming out of 232. Some spoiler news, if you will, because apparently this is what Ian's been wanting. Apparently Ian's been wanting an opportunity with that one last panel to shake things up. To kind of get people thinking, getting longtime fans and readers thinking, oh great, now there's no way the character could be de-roboticized. But again, you never say never. I mean, even if it's been for one episode or one issue, we've seen characters in this state. Heck, I remember watching Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, and they had the episode where Mira and Booster got turned into wired wolves, if you will. And they, believe it or not, when Buzz and... I can't even think of his name right now. When Buzz and XR took off into the skies, they're thinking, well, they can't follow us since they're wolves, but what happens? Little booster rockets appear out of the backs or out of the sides. And Buzz and XR are like, whoa, I didn't think they could do that. You see what I'm saying? Just because something happens, some changes occur, doesn't mean they're permanent. They just mean it's for that time being. Yeah, the thing about her being roboticized going forward, yeah, it's only for the story arc. I mean, again, let's take a look. When Uncle Chuck was roboticized, he had the ability to put like disc inside his chest. When Sonic was mechanized, he had wires connected to him so he could communicate through free will to his friends. So again, it's not the first time, and it won't be the last. Now, I will say this. I do still stick by what I've talked about. I still believe that in some way, this is nothing more than a prophet dream that Sonic's having. Now, I could be wrong. I hope I am wrong. But who knows? Heck, I have some people like Laser X5 and a few others at certain sites that are going along with that. They're saying, I wouldn't put it past Ian to do that. But again, we don't know what Ian's doing, with all due respect. We don't. We just got to wait and see. And that's all I can say about it. But I thought I'd let you guys know about that, and I'll talk to you later.